Hello stampers and crafters, my name is Sarah Chatello from Sassy Paper Crafts. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm going to show you a super quick, super easy card using the Sweet Conversations bundle from Stampin' Up! So the Sweet Conversations bundle is a photopolymer stamp set. I have one missing because that's the one we're going to be using today. And the Sweetheart dies, which have so many hearts. I love them. And there's a little envelope die that I love, and a little label, and another little banner label. Super cute. If you want to see more videos using these, I would suggest, if you're not a demonstrator, to join my VIP group, because that's where all the magic happens. If you are a demonstrator, feel free to follow me on Instagram or Facebook or right here on YouTube, and you get to see more projects using the Sweet Conversations bundle. So let's get started. I don't have an example to show you because we're going to make this as we go. I have a thick Whisper White card base that measures 5.5 this way by 8.5 this way, and is scored at 4 1/4. I'm just going to set that aside from it. And then I just have a scrap piece of basic white, and that's what we're going to be doing our stamping on. So I'm going to get my stamp, which is here, and this is on a B block, and I use this one, like the chunky, like solid stamp, and there's all these other cute stamps in there, but we're just gonna be using this guy today. This card is super simple, super quick. So I also have 3 colors here: polished pink, pale papaya, and fresh freesia. I always have a hard time saying that one. Those are our current in colors. And I did want to mention that the Sweet Conversations bundle is $42.25. So if you were to get the Sweet Conversations bundle and the ink color ink pad collections, that would be over $50. We have Celebration going on right now, and you could pick a free item from Celebration. Be sure to use my host code if you order in my online store. So I'm going to open up my ink pads. I'm going to start with the lightest color first. Let's start with Pale Papaya. And all I'm going to do is, we're going to do 5 hearts. I'm going to stamp off onto my grid paper and stamp onto my scrap paper. I'm going to do 1 full color one. Yeah, I like that. So we're going to do 2 of the Pale Papaya, and I have my Stampin' Scrub here, which has a wet side and a dry side. I'm going to spray the Stampin' Mist on the wet side, and I'm just going to scrub my stamp clean. I do have cat hair on it because I have cats, and cat hair gets everywhere. I'm just going to set that to the side. I'm done with the Pale Papaya. Oops, now I'm going to get out the fresh freesia, and I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm just going to stamp off on this one. I don't think I want a full color one, and I'm just going to do 1 of the fresh freesia, but I'm going to keep that out because I want to do my sentiment in that color. And I'm going to clean off my stamp again. And I'm going to go with a polished pink. I'm going to do 2 of these. I'm inking up, I'm stamping off, and then stamping onto my cardstock. So I'm going to clean that again. And then for the sentiment, I'm going to grab the Happy to Have You in My Life. And I'm going to put that onto my B block. And I'm going to get a different scrap paper just because I don't think the one I have will fit what I want to do with this. So I have another scrap piece of basic white. And I'm going to go in with the fresh freesia. I'm going to stamp about there. And then I am done with my ink pads. So I'm just going to set these aside. And I'm going to use the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. But before I do that, I'm going to clean this stamp so I don't put my fingers in it. Done with that. Put my stamp away so I don't lose it. And I'm going to move my scrap pieces aside. I have the In Color Stampin' Blends, both the dark and light. They come in a combo pack. I'm just going to use the light from each one. I'm going to set the dark ones aside. We're not going to use those. And I'm again going to start with the lightest color. And this is the light Pale Papaya. And I'm just going to, I need to get a bone folder and burnish that crease. And what we're going to do is I'm going to flick some color onto this. So I'm using the brush side. There's two sides. There's a brush side and a pen tip side. I'm using the brush side and I have the cap. And all I'm doing is just flicking ink. And it's very light, so it's hard to see the pale papaya. You will see it with the polished pink and the fresh freesia. I'm just going to do a little bit of that. And then I'm going to get the polished pink, and again with the brush tip side. There, you can see that a lot better. I am just going to turn it just so I get speckles all over. And you will notice that it will pull up a little bit into your cap. If you want to just take a paper towel and wipe that out, that's what I do. I'm just going to set that to the side for a minute so I can get a paper towel later and wipe that out. Not too much later. You don't want to leave the lid off. Ugh, that one was hard to open. So I have the brush side again of my fresh freesia. And again, just flicking. Trying to get... I'm going to move it again. Okay. And then you can see that it's speckled pretty much all over. Now this is an alcohol-based ink, so it dries pretty quickly. And actually I have a little cotton swab next to me, so I'm going to grab that and just clean out my caps before I put them away, because I don't want to forget and then have them dry out, and then I would be sad. And that is kind of a messy technique, so I do recommend putting down a scrap paper, a grid paper, something to protect your surface. I did get a little ink on me, so it is messy. If you don't like mess, I wouldn't recommend doing that. So then I have my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'm just going to open it up and grab my #1 platform and then the #2 cutting pad. Well, pad, I guess. It's not a cutting surface. It says right on it. And then a #3 cutting plate. And then I'm going to put down my hearts and get the matching die out for that. And then we're going to cut out some hearts. I'm just lining it up. If you'd like to, you can use washi tape or a Post-it note to keep that there. I'm going to just live on the edge and go for it. So now that all of my hearts are cut out, which I will show you in a second, I'm going to cut out my sentiment, and I'm going to use that label die from the Sweethearts dies, this one here. And I'm just going to kind of center that through there and run it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Now that I have everything cut out, these are my hearts. There's 5 of them. And the little label here, we can just put our card together. So this one is pretty simple. I am going to take a piece of the 3/8 inch open weave ribbon. I think I'm going to use pale papaya. And I'm just going to tie a bow. Now that I have my bow tied, I'm just going to trim the ends a little bit. Get that out of the way, and now we're ready to put our card together. Now, if you wanted to, you could take one of the stamps, the Happy Valentine's Day, and stamp the inside of the card. I'm not going to do that on this one. I am going to grab some Stampin' Dimensionals and put a few on my label here. And I like to line my card base up with my grid paper. And I'm just going to put that kind of skewed to the side. And I'm going to grab some glue dots. And I'm going to take my little bow I made, put a glue dot on it, and I'm just going to stick it over the whole of that label. Like that. And then I'm going to take a couple of glue dots. I'm going to do 2 hearts, I think, on the glue dots, and then 3 with dimensionals. And I'm just going to kind of scatter them, if I can pick it up. So I'm going to do 2 with glue dots, and then 3 of them with dimensionals. And to finish the card, I do have some of the new iridescent rhinestones that are a part of this suite. But I also want to see what the in-color jewels look like, if I can find them. There they are. These are the in-color jewels. I think I want to use those. So we have a polished pink, and a fresh freesia, and a pale papaya, and I like how that looks, so we're gonna go with that. So that's the 2021 to 2023 in color jewels on there, and that is it for today's card. So I thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.